Hello friends. In the previous video, we discussed control statements like if, else, and elif. Now, we're going to discuss nested conditions in Python. A condition placed inside another condition is called a nested condition. In simple words, one if statement is placed inside another if statement. In this video, we'll cover what is a nested condition, how nested if works, practical examples, common mistakes. In this video, we'll understand what nested conditions are, how they work, and how to use them with simple real-time examples. Next, let's discuss what is a nested condition. A nested condition means placing one if statement inside another if statement. The basic syntax of a nested condition is if condition 1, if condition 2, statement. Here, Python first checks condition 1. If condition 1 is true, Python enters the first if block. Then Python checks condition 2. If condition 2 is also true, Python executes the statement inside the nested if block. Now, let's take an example. Look at the code. First, create a variable called age and assign the value 20. Then, write an if condition. If age greater than or equal to 18. Print, you are an adult. Now, let's add a nested if condition inside the first if block. Make sure to use proper indentation. If age greater than or equal to 18. Print, you are an adult. If age greater than or equal to 21. Print, you can enter the club. Now, let's understand how Python executes this code step by step. First, Python checks the condition. Age greater than or equal to 18. Here, the age is 20. So Python checks 20 greater than or equal to 18. This condition is true. Because the condition is true, Python enters the first if block and prints, you are an adult. Next, Python checks the nested condition. Age greater than or equal to 21. Since the age is 20, Python checks 20 greater than or equal to 21. This condition is false. So, Python skips the second print statement. Finally, the output is you are an adult. Now, let's run the code in VS Code. The output is you are an adult. Let's take a real-world example. Suppose you're shopping online. First, we check whether the product is available. If the product is available, we then check whether the customer has enough balance to purchase the product. Now, let's look at the code. First, create a variable called product_available and assign the Boolean value true. Then, create another variable called balance and assign the value 1000. Finally, create a variable called price and assign the value 800. Now, let's write the first if condition. If product_available. Print, product is available. Inside this if block, we'll add a nested if condition to check whether the customer's balance is enough to purchase the product. If balance equals price. Print, purchase successful. If the balance is not enough, we use an else block. Else. Print, insufficient balance. Finally, we add another else block for the outer if condition. If the product is not available, Python prints else. Print, product is out of stock. Now, let's understand the flowchart of this program step by step using our real-life shopping example. First, the program starts and stores three values. Product available equals true. Balance equals 1000. Price equals 800. Next, Python checks. Is the product available? Since the answer is yes, it prints product is available. Then, Python moves to the nested condition. Now Python checks. Is the balance greater than or equal to the price? Here, 1000 is greater than 800, so the condition is true. Therefore, Python prints purchase successful. If the balance was less than the price, Python would print insufficient balance. And if the product was not available, Python would directly print product is out of stock. Now, let's run the code in VS Code. The output is product is available. Purchase successful. Now, change product_available to false. Run the code again. The output is product is out of stock. Now, change the balance to 500. Run the code again. The output is: product is available. Insufficient balance. As you can see, Python first checks whether the product is available. If the product is available, it then checks whether the balance is sufficient. This is how nested if conditions work in Python. Now, let's look at some common mistakes in control statements. Mistake 1. Incorrect indentation. In nested if statements, proper indentation is very important. If the second if statement is not properly indented, Python doesn't know that it belongs inside the first if statement. This can cause an indentation error or change the way the program works. Now, let's look at the correct code. Make sure the nested if statement is properly indented inside the first if block. Proper indentation tells Python which statements belong together. Mistake 2. Forgetting the colon symbol. Another common mistake is forgetting the colon after the if, elif, or else statement. The colon tells Python that the block of code starts here. Without the colon, Python will show a syntax error. So, always remember, proper indentation tells Python which block the statement belongs to, and the colon symbol tells Python where the block starts. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, and if you have any doubts, leave them in the comment section. Do subscribe for more updates.